You know what I've always been wondering about The Hobbit, both the book and the movie, because I think they made a book out of that after the movie, is why Bilbo is not freaked out about a huge giant dragon. But then what really blows my mind is the dragon just starts talking to him and it's normal. As the Extreme channel is pushing towards 50,000 subscribers, these are just a few of the statues we're giving away on the journey there. If you want to know how to win one, stay tuned for later in the video. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. My name is Mr. X. We're looking at a very old statue in my collection. This is Smaug, made by Weta. This is a bust. So a bust is usually the portrait or the head or the torso, clearly with a dragon that's a little bit hard to figure out. Now, as I said, this is from The Hobbit, which was a motion film, or a motion picture that they actually made a book out of because the film was so popular. Anyway, this is made by Weta, and I've owned this probably for about 6 or 7 years. This is a very old piece, but to be honest with you, I think it still stands up incredible. Now, the reason why I'm reviewing him is he's actually going up for sale. If you're interested in him or other pieces, make sure you've not only liked this video, but you've subscribed to the channel and hit that bell notification because that video will launch in a few days here. Unless you're watching this from the future, then it already happened in the past. In that case, I still launch for sale videos at the end of every month. So before he leaves the collection, I'm going to review him, and the only reason I'm letting him go is he wasn't a life-size. If I had a life-size Smaug bust, then I would definitely keep it. Of course, I don't know where I would put it.
That's what she said!
So, as I use the traditional review categories a little bit harder, because not only, as I said, is this a bust, but it's a partial bust. It's a partial bust that's a museum piece. It's not proper scale. Now, the company that made this Weta, they specialize in Lord of the Rings and Hobbit stuff, both in large scale and small scale. I have owned a few other pieces, including, now this one I didn't own, but I had on the table this giant statue right here, which was only 1/6 scale. The scale on this, I don't even know. It's probably 1/30th, 1/40th, meaning 30 or 40 times smaller than a real life version. But this is supposed to be a museum type piece, hence the museum style base. This solid, simple black base here on the bottom. Now, what's really interesting, we're going to talk about design, this can also be a wall mount. And I've displayed it both ways. Both ways work very well. But then you start to see the nape of his neck, which is hard to tell where the nape of a dragon's neck is. I don't even know what a nape is, but that's probably it right there. You see the front of it, the back of it's cut off, and he is moving over into almost a slithery snake-like position. Now, this is obviously based off of the movie The Hobbit, not the book, because they wrote the book later, I'm pretty sure. I just keep saying that to piss you guys off. But realistically, he is coming in talking to Bilbo. That's what we kind of assume is going on here. He looks really evil. They did a fantastic job creating Smaug, especially when you think about the CGI effects were a good 10, 20, 30 years ago. I don't even know how long ago that was. I know the book was really recent. Guys, I hope you know I'm totally kidding with that. I know the book came out. I know when the book came out. Actually, I don't know the exact date. I don't really care, but he looks very evil, very sinister. I mean, he's a dragon that talks, that loves his gold. So concept's a little weird. I like what they did, but I think the concept's a 3 out of 5. It's nothing amazing. It's nothing bad. It is what it is. It's very different. Now, if you wall mount it, which is a design aspect, that's the pretty cool thing. Now, there's only 2 pieces to this for the most part. The base and then Smaug's head actually comes off. Now, one thing during paint and sculpt, you're going to see that there are some broken horns. This is intentional. Not only is it intentional, but they had to broadcast that over and over because people were thinking, hey, mine came broken. Now, if you're going to mount him on the wall, you actually flip him around the other way so he's sticking straight out. Or you can do it like this, and there are bolts and cutouts on the bottom. But very easy assembly. Let's get the dimensions. So let's pretend this is the front. So when he's like this, the front is probably about 18 inches deep. It's only about 9 inches wide and then 14 inches tall. Now, obviously, that's going to change a little bit when you flip him around to mount him on the wall. But that's it. What you see is what you get. I don't think there really needs to be more. Now, if you can wall mount him, I highly encourage you to do that. Looks like he's almost coming out of the wall. It's pretty cool. So I like that they gave that option. I'm just not keeping him because he doesn't scale well with anything else. I do have Queen Studios Balrog bust coming, which also isn't real scale, but it's still about 50 times bigger than this. I was initially toying with the idea of mounting this behind him, but I thought I would rather just throw him in the upcoming for sale video. So for design, I give it a 4 out of 5. I think it's simple yet elegant, and that's a cool option to either display it like this or on the wall. So let's dive into the paint and sculpt. And what I really love about this piece is, for me, Weta seems to be hit and miss. However, a lot of times they are hit. This is a hit for sure. And for being an older piece, I'm speculating this is anywhere from 6 to 10 years old. It is still really good. Check it out. Now, as I said to my wife last night, this won't take very long. So the bottom, black museum style base, clean, classy, elegant, looks nice. Some of the light is showing some of the dust I need to wipe down. But obviously we're here for smog. Now first I want to talk about the colors, then we'll dive into the sculpt. So what's cool about him is they almost made it like you can see the dragon breath, the fire on the outside. They kind of use that as a palette for the colors. And I really like Weta's artistic take on stuff like this. So you have these deep dark reds that mix with these orange and even light yellow colors here. And then the scarred black, almost like lava, coming through the top and then the tips of his spikes. Like this looks like rolling lava. That's incredibly cool. They did so much cool stuff with the paint and just the way it transcends from one color to the next. And then it mixes in. I am really impressed. The eyes are okay. I think they're decals. I think that would be the negative thing to say about the paint, but it's still hard to beat anything else. Now, as cool as the paint is, I think the sculpt is even better. Looking at the top, the scales we talked about on top of each other looks awesome. The reptilian-like skin, you can see kind of like this cracked hide and then even more scales down here. The spikes protruding out of him look fantastic. Here's where they're broken, and these are from past battles. And then the snout and the portrait, like I said, it looks like they took it from the movie. There was a little bit of CGI effect in the movie, but I think this looks even better than the movie itself. So really nice job. And the way that his neck extends and curves over, kind of the skin folding over right here in the middle, they didn't miss any detail on this sculpt. This is such a cool piece, and because it's done so well is one of the few reasons I kind of excuse the museum base, because you guys know I'm not a huge fan of that, but I think it just really emanates prestigiousness, if you will, which I think is what Weta's always trying to go for. They're trying to go for like really classy museum style stuff. And when you create a paint and sculpt like this, you really exemplify that. And I think they did an amazing job. Hard to let this guy go. Paint, I think easily it is a 5 out of 5 on the paint. The way the colors mix together. But the paint's not even as good as the sculpt. I think sculpt's even better. This looks like they took it right out of the movie. It's a 5 out of 5 for me on the sculpt. Really well done. All right, now I don't know how many of these they made, but I do know the value is fantastic depending on what you buy it for. So the original retail was about $400, which is absolutely outrageous. I paid, I think, $1,300 or $1,400 years and years ago. I'm going to sell them for less than that. Again, if you want to know how much, don't message me. Just wait for that for sale video. But definitely a piece that went up in value over the years. I'd speculate they didn't make a lot. Now, I'm not going to rank the value because it's not a retail price anymore. But that $3.99 retail price would have been a 5 out of 5. Now, does this have the X factor? Is he a 5 out of 5 statue? I don't think he is simply for the size. I think everything else qualifies him for that except the size. So, while, again, I don't know what scale this is. I'm speculating a 1/30th or 1/40th. If this was like 1/10th scale and like the size of the table or something of that nature that I could actually mount on the wall, I would be keeping it, and I would definitely say it has the X factor. It's absolutely amazing. Weta did a fantastic job. I'm sad to be losing this because I could also pair it with this piece right here, even though it's from different movies. But again, it's a different scale. Although it might scale really well with that shit. Maybe I kind of want to keep it now. Nope, it's already posted for sale. But I think overall it's a 4 out of 5 statue for sure. We will be giving all of these statues away, plus additional ones at every 5,000 subscriber milestone. To win one of these statues, all you have to do is make sure you've liked this video, you've subscribed to the channel, you've hit that bell notification, and then just drop a comment below. Every 5,000 subscriber milestone, we are going to do a random drawing and pick a random comment and give one of these statues away, plus some additional ones I'm not showing right now. The more videos you comment on, the higher your chances are to win. That's all we have today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please hit that like button. It's easy, free. If you haven't subscribed, you like stuff like this, hit that subscribe, hit that bell notification. I'll be talking to you very soon. Take care.